Renewing of my brain. Brandon Aubrey. Anybody ever heard of Brandon Aubrey? Yes. He grew up in Plano, Texas. Say Plano, Texas.
Plano, Texas.
Grew up in Plano, Texas. He grew up playing soccer. He was an awesome soccer player. As a matter of fact, he played soccer for a youth club called the Dallas Texans, and he and his team won 5 state title cups. He was so good at playing soccer, Notre Dame recruited him to play soccer for them full-time, full-ride scholarship. As a freshman, Brandon won the national championship with the Fighting Irish. As a senior at Notre Dame, Brandon Aubrey was a first-time All-ACC player for the Fighting Irish. He got drafted into the professional leagues of American soccer. He played for a soccer team out of Philadelphia called the Bethlehem Steel. Say Steel.
Steel.
Now say Steel.
Steel.
The Bethlehem Steel. When he got to the professional level, by the way, give me the rock right here. Jay and Liana. Jay, you are inspiring this talk this week. Great job last week. And fabulous job, the entire team. Cheerleaders, God bless your souls for being alive. So when I gave some thought to last week's game and our fantastic finish, and then I sat down on Sunday and watched a little football, I was reminded of this story. Playing soccer in the professional leagues in American soccer, Brandon kind of did so-so. Say so-so.
So-so.
A little bit. So he got traded here, he got traded there, and then he got released by the Bethlehem Steel. When he got released, he and his wife moved back to Dallas-Fort Worth, and he actually obtained an engineering degree from the University of Notre Dame. So what he did was, he moved back to Dallas, and he became a software engineer. In 2019, he was sitting in his living room, eating potato chips, watching football, and he noticed that the field goal kicker missed a field goal. He's slopping down a bag of potato chips, and his wife walked through the room, and as soon as that field goal kicker missed that field goal, Brandon's wife walked past him and said, "You can do that." That very day, Mr. Aubrey went out to a high school football field in Dallas, Texas, and kicked footballs through the uprights all afternoon. And then Brandon hired a Mississippi State place kicker to teach him how to kick field goals. And for 3 years, 19, 20, and 21, Brandon learned how to kick field goals 4 times a week with this coach. In 2022, Brandon was hired by a USFL football team out of Birmingham. He played for them for 1 year. He ended up setting a ton of records kicking field goals in the USFL. Wasn't long before the Dallas Cowboys realized they've got something and they want to go get this guy. They hired Brandon. And in 2023, on his first day on the field, his first kick was a 58-yard field goal through the uprights. As a matter of fact, in his start as a field goal kicker in the NFL, he holds the NFL record for the longest stretch of made field goals for any starting field goal kicker in the history of the NFL. Just like that. Within 3 games, he's already making history in the NFL. One long in week 8, he kicked a 64-yard field goal. In week 14, he kicked, for the first time in the history of the NFL, he kicked a 59 and a 60-yard field goal back-to-back for the first time in the history of the NFL. First kicker to ever kick 2 59-plus field goals in the NFL. Wasn't long after that, the following year, when Brandon was playing the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, he tied the longest field goal kick in the history of the NFL. He's a soccer player and only been playing in this league for 2 years, making history. At 66 yards, he nailed his field goal. This year, last Sunday afternoon, I'm watching football. Anybody watch the Cowboys and the Giants last week? And I'm sitting around watching the Cowboys and the Giants. You were watching the Cowboys and the Giants last week? And I'm eating a bag of potato chips. And this guy, Brandon Aubrey, kicks a field goal, a 60-something yard field goal to tie the game and send the game into overtime. And that isn't it. In overtime, with 4 seconds on the clock, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola, eating potato chips, and this guy kicks a 46-yard field goal to win the entire game. He scored 16 of the 40 points Dallas used to beat the Giants that night. Here's the point of that whole entire story. Go all the way back with me when Brandon was sitting on his couch and he watched that NFL kicker miss that field goal, and his wife walks through the room and says, "You can do that." At that moment, he had to begin a transformation. One thing he ever knew in his life was soccer. But he began that transformation in his mind, and he went outside, he practiced kicking field goals, he hired a coach, he practiced kicking field goals. He realized he could do this. He had to totally change careers, totally change mindset. Wear a different guard, wear different pads. And now today, right now, he is among the most successful field goal kickers in the history of the NFL. And last week, the Cowboys could have lost to the Giants 37-24 without those 16 points. And Mr. Aubrey contributed all by himself. In your life, you can. Say, I can.
I can.
Make a difference. Say that. You can make a difference. And it starts by renewing your mind. Transforming everything about yourself. Renewing your mind. Making up your mind that you can. You can what? The Bible says in Romans chapter 2, you can learn the perfect will of God. In Brandon's life, soccer's a cool sport. He was playing soccer. But what if God's perfect will for his life is kicking field goals in the NFL? By the renewing of his mind, I believe he found God's perfect will for his life. But he had to make a total transformation. Sometimes in your life, you may have to make a total transformation. Find God's perfect will for your life. Jesus died for our sins. He loves us. He's got our back. He's watching out for our future. Tonight, today, right in this moment, I believe Jesus is just reminding us, he's asking us to consider transforming our entire lives, starting with the renewal of our mind, putting our life in his hands, and watch how successful we can be through his love, his grace, and his mercy. I love you all very, very much. Thank you for just a few moments of your time, and I'm excited about tonight.